Hey y'all, what's going on?
Oh, what's going on with you guys? It is I. I am the light of the Leo. She is me, okay? And this is my brother. Yeah, I got it right. This is my brother, JoJo Speaks, and we are watching Extraordinary Attorney Woo. And this is going to be the spoiler review of episode 8. And I feel silent, so I'm turning on some music.
Okay, yeah, we know it's been a minute, y'all, but we are back. I feels like I've been waiting a month for us to do this episode 8 review. Not a month, maybe like
Child,
three or four
no,
weeks.
if not 3 or 4 weeks a month, because we went through it. First of all, getting back into the groove of recording again into the new year, and then I got sick.
Yeah. That really hindered us because it's literally February, and I think the last one we did was in December.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
what?
we
No, no,
did
no.
one in
It was.
January.
We did one in January. Yeah, we did
We did
episode
one in
7 in
January.
January. Okay. Yeah,
It's
so
just
maybe about 3 weeks.
that sickness knocked me out for two
Yeah.
weeks. I was with fever for 2 days, and after that, I could hardly talk.
But we're here now and we are ready. Let's get to this,
Let's
Jennifer.
get let's.
Let's do this. Yes.
It is episode 8. We start off with Rami making breakfast for Young Woo. The last episode basically ended with our Young Woo finding out who her mother truly is. Um Wait, is that what it was? Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Yaha!
No, she didn't. She did not find out on the 7th episode. She found out that she was hired
Because
because
of her
her father.
deity.
Yes.
My bad, y'all.
It's okay.
Anywho, yeah, because the last thing that we saw on episode 7 was them, not the last thing, but last thing between her dad. They were arguing about how whenever he steps in, everything doesn't turn out right. And she ran away.
And he
Eh,
steps in to protect her, and she doesn't want
yeah,
him to get her out of all of her jams. She wants him to allow her to be an adult.
basically let me fall by myself. And I'm looking at the
Exactly.
last note. She says, I'm an adult. And she ran away.
Yeah.
She said, I
Yeah.
should be rejected on my own terms.
Right.
This is so deep.
Isn't it?
so so of course, we start with Rami making breakfast, like I said, because Young Woo was at Rami's house, her homegirl, BFF for life. They been
For
down.
life.
Okay.
Okay, been down. Okay. A1
Been
since day one. Okay.
okay. 10 toes, honey.
Okay.
Anywho, and what was sweet, Young Woo, y'all know she's real particular about her foods, y'all.
Very.
And she had something other than gimbap for breakfast.
I was watching a reactor and it's a female. I love her
Yeah.
reactions. She said, "Oh, look at her changing up her routine."
Just
And I didn't even pick up on it
yeah.
until so yeah.
And but she was really sweet to at least taste the food, and she did eat the food. So very, very nice of Young Woo. It's outside of her norm, and that's really difficult for her to stay outside of it, but she did something different. She even told her it was really difficult for me to sleep last night because I wasn't in my own house. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, we get it. But she found solace in her friend Rami. How you feel about this moment there?
I loved it, and when Rami said you like it, but it tastes a little weird, doesn't it? And Wu and Wu's like, yeah, it's good, but weird, but good. And so I love their relationship. Their friendship is so sweet, and the way that they protect one another is so beautiful.
And
Um,
how
and
Rami takes a moment to understand.
Yes, Rami is very understanding of her friend, and she knows Woo Young Woo very well.
Yes,
I
she
think the
does.
only people that really know Woo Young Woo are her father and Rami. I think they're the only people that really
Exactly.
know how
And I
she
think
operates.
Rami is number one because
Yeah,
she comes to Rami for everything,
for everything.
and we love it.
We love it.
Uh,
Okay,
so
that's the femme fatale if you ain't know.
uh, of this whole city, honey. Okay.
Better recognize.
You
Okay.
you better understand, honey, okay?
Brittany
That's
who?
Rami, okay?
Okay.
All right? Because it is me, honey, up in these
It
Korean
is
streets.
I. Okay.
Okay? She is me. Anywho, so Rami went ahead to ask young Woo, so are you mad at your dad? And young Woo did not necessarily answer that question, but she did say it's time for me to move out. I'm an adult now, and of course Rami's like, so you can afford that? And I'm over here thinking like, does Rami not? She's a whole lawyer. Of course she can afford it. She may not be in the best, of course, with starting out, but she's a
Right.
lawyer.
I was gonna say when lawyers start out, they typically are not making the most of money, but she'll get to a point to where she won't have to worry about it anymore.
Absolutely. And this she was at the top firm. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's being
You know they paying them
compensated
good
pretty
dollar
well.
bills, even starting out.
Yeah,
Okay.
dollar bills, y'all. So I believe that she would have been able to move out just fine, or will be able
Hmm.
to whenever she decided to do that. Excuse me. So this is the moment that I was not I just didn't like it because of what it could. Let me just say, so she made it to work,
Mm.
and the people are talking.
Okay.
Jonathan, this is one thing that you're gonna see about these Korean shows. At the office, everybody talk.
Okay.
Even while they sit standing right in front of you, they're gonna be like this, looking you dead in your eye.
Like them girls on the Glory at that news
Yes,
station.
like I
Hmm.
can't hear you. Ooh,
Right.
I almost said whore. Calm down, Jennifer. Anywho, but yes, they were talking. We see that Minwoo wrote, see what he wrote, basically talking about fraudulent hiring practices of Himbata at his own job. Let's calm down. Let's just get through the story.
Quick question before we move forward. How do
Yes.
you feel about the fact that he is right in a sense, and this is somewhat true in a way? Does
This
does
is
does that change your feelings concerning what he did?
no. This is a really wonderful lesson in perception.
Hmm.
And of course, he's not interested. He thinks he knows everything, just like we all do. We believe we have sufficient information for all situations like this.
Right.
Okay. But he did not understand. He doesn't understand, which is why, what is her name? Soo Young. I'm pushing along in the story, but this is why Soo Young was actually able to stand up for her friend,
Right.
because she has to go through a lot just because she is
Autistic.
autistic.
Right.
And he, of course, doesn't care about that. All he's trying to do is have
It's be
himself
on
to
top.
rise.
Yeah.
Exactly. But one thing that he is smart about, he does know and understand that she is better than him, that Young Woo is better, and
Yeah.
that she knows how to think outside the box, and she knows the law in a special way beyond him. And
Hmm.
he doesn't like that. So he's not going to be looked at as the top attorney as long as she continues to be there. So, yes, though he had an angle to work with, it doesn't make it right for him to expose that. He is
Gotcha.
not Han, okay?
Right.
So, if anything, if you have a real issue, you need to speak with Han and stop putting anonymous bulletins up on the internet.
Or simply just step your game up, my nigga.
One or the other. But yes, they're everybody in the firm was talking about what they saw on this anonymous blog post there. And okay, so they came into Attorney Jung's office like nothing happened. Of course, Minwoo don't want to act as if he did anything. Soo Yeon, she was like,
Okay.
now this is the moment where I really thought Minwoo was kind of like really stupid, or not stupid, but I don't know what made him think that there wouldn't be anybody thinking that it was him.
Yeah.
Right? Especially after their last interaction. I don't know if you remember, but the last interaction that Soo Yeon and Minwoo had was him arguing back and forth about Attorney Woo and how she's great and she doesn't belong here. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? There's always got to be the a-hole or a hater sitting somewhere around that want to spout all of their feelings and stuff because they're so upset because they ain't as great as somebody else.
Right.
Anywho, so the first thing Sooyeon said was, are you okay? Or is your firm still robbing you of your youth?
And head boss in charge, he heard that too. He was sitting right at his desk.
And he was a executive.
Okay. Yes.
And then she said, "Are you going to pretend like it wasn't you?" Now I can. It's not often I see this in some Korean areas. It usually takes much longer and a lot more angst for them to get to the space where they're just spitting out truth.
Okay.
But for him to come up in there, and as soon as she see him, so you gonna act like you ain't did it or what? Like,
Right.
that's not something that we see too often. It try to be nice and sweet.
Okay.
And as we get into some more K dramas, you'll see that as well.
Cool.
So they're having the meeting about the trial or whatever. I forget. I even forget what trial this was. It's been so long since I saw this thing. But Han joined the attorneys for their early morning meeting.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
HBIC, honey, come through the door.
You better know and recognize. And so this was the one about, was it about that nice city?
Yes, it was about the nice city that was about to have a road that was constructed right through their city. Yes.
There's Happiness Road. I remember now. Thanks, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
So what Han said is like, it just looks like you guys are taking a naive approach. Because you're just going to have these judges come out to the city to see how it is, and then they're going to fall in love. It's like, no, this is really naive. We need to look towards more of a business approach. And she said, get a journalist, because they have, connections to the media at Hanbara.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what was it? An anonymous bulletin board post can also trigger emotions, even if it's just gossip.
And didn't she look right at him when she said that?
She sure did. I love it. I love every bit of it.
She know.
And Minwoo put his head down, honey. It's like I don't even have to address you. I don't even have to bring you up into my office.
At least not directly.
Yeah, because of how minute this is. But you thought you tried it though. You thought you had something here.
Okay.
Minwoo.
But it's nothing. It's nada. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what you thought this was, but this is my S word. Bow down.
Yes.
Okay.
Kiss the ring.
Kiss the motherfucking ring. Soo-yeon, of course, as they were leaving out of the office after Han said her wondrous words.
Because Woo Young-woo was in the room for this meeting.
For the whole thing. And she didn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know any of it. Excuse me. So Soo-yeon let Woo Young-woo know about the post.
Mm-hmm.
Basically had her reading it. She was like this. Like that. And she was reading all in through the post or whatever. And she says, well, I mean, it's all correct. It is the truth. And Soo-yeon was just over it. Okay.
O-V-E-R.
She says, you are the best. You cannot allow people to disrespect you like that. And then she said, next time, you might need to put hands on it.
Okay.
Okay. And she also made sure that everybody heard what she said in that office as they were sitting there talking about her. Rashi was just sitting there standing in there.
But was Soo Young not giving black woman energy in this moment, or was she giving loud black woman energy, standing up for her friend in this moment? Like,
absolutely,
for real.
Making sure that this is being said loudly, so one, Minwoo can hear, and he start running off. Okay,
and then he put his hand up to his ear like he didn't want to hear what was going on. Like you know.
you know exactly what's going on up in here. You better be happy Soo Young didn't say exactly who it was, but I'm pretty sure other people might have known who was complaining about it.
If the HBIC knows who it was, I'm sure everybody has an idea of who it
Everybody.
is. Okay.
Okay. But everybody pretty much got put in a place on that day by Soo Young in that space. Yeah, it is true the way she got her job. It was pretty much given to her.
Hmm.
But the situation required it. That's how I feel.
Right. It only matters if she doesn't deserve it, if she hasn't proven herself, if
Exactly.
she's unqualified, but she is in fact overqualified.
Overly. And
She
she's
could,
out here she out here turning it. Okay.
okay, at every turn.
They don't get it. We at Seduct Dome. And unfortunately, it's not a bright sunny day like it was when we last came out here.
It
No.
is pouring down
It's
rain and
pouring
honey.
down rain.
Cats and
And
dogs.
child, I'm thinking about your messages that you sent when I heard it
Hmm.
2 to 3 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, probably 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
You were like, why did it have to rain? It just had to
It just
rain.
had, of course, it's going to rain. Of course. Like,
Child. So the attorneys of Humbada get out of the car. We all got our umbrellas, all different cut. Got your
mixed
regular
match.
umbrellas,
Oh,
mix
own
match.
personal umbrellas from
Okay.
home. Yes.
But child, them attorneys from Tayson get out the car. They got they red umbrellas, got the T for Tayson up on there, and they all look
Okay.
like a group. They look together.
Okay. The stoners that I had you watch, they said that's a squad if I've ever seen one. Okay. That is a squad. Okay.
Wide. The squad did come. And so, of course, they look at it. Attorney John was like, don't y'all got the Humbada umbrellas?
At this moment, the stoner said, "Yeah, it's too late. It's too late."
But at least it's kind of before
Before the judges get there,
the
yes.
judges got there, so
Right.
it saved a little something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good thing they saw that first though. Anywho, they
Right.
got their her blue Humbada umbrellas. So now we look like a cohesive team.
Yes.
Yay! So the
And at
judges
this
arrive.
moment, the stoner said, "Squat up." Okay. Yes.
The judges arrive, of course, and then Young Woo notices one of the head judge, because in their thing they have three judges, a main
Hmm.
one and two assisting ones, and she noticed the main judge's umbrella, and it because of course it had a bottlenose dolphin on it. Why
Hmm.
wouldn't she notice that? She loves her whales and dolphins and things of that nature.
Of course.
So apparently it looks like Taeson got one up on the whole city. Okay, they've apparently visited everybody. They said, hey, sign this if you would get out of here for a little bit more money. Not promising that they're going to pay them more money for their land. No, 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 no. They said if, and they're putting their John Hancock on it. So the made up tour that they had ready for the attorneys last time was completely derailed because the people that they were going to introduce the Tayson group as well as the judges to, they have all flipped, baby. And they've all signed saying, well, if it's gonna be some more money, I'm gonna get it. You rich.
Right.
I
But
need this money.
when that man was driving on his scooter coming down the street, they said, "Hey, hey!" And then he stopped, and then he turned around. I said, "Oh no! Oh no!" Okay, Lord have mercy.
So
That was just a twist of the knife. Okay, that's what that
it
was.
just made it's just like it really got us to the space like, so how's this gonna work out? What we gonna do,
How
Hambada?
this?
What we gonna do?
But you know what? The odds are always stacked up against Hambada.
Absolutely.
Always in every single episode, it always seems as though how are they going to win this case? And
But you
somehow
know
they
what?
always end up winning it.
What I love is like we're just an epiphany away from from
Yes,
success. Okay.
yes,
From winning.
yeah.
So let us see what else we get here. So the mayor won't let they're basically saying that the mayor won't let the town think for themselves. They're basically pushing them into going into this into fighting the road.
And for a moment, I actually gave in to that notion
Yeah,
because he's so vocal, because it seems like he's speaking for everybody, and because he seems to be the only voice that's coming out of this town. So I actually accepted that
yeah.
for as fact.
So basically, what they said, 343 out of 488 have signed. So now Hambada has got to get some consent forms. First of all, they had to send what's his face over to back to the thing to print out some consent forms for us. And child, we just gotta gotta make up a hard time.
Right.
So they did get some consent form signed, but of course not enough. It never is enough. But as they were doing it, the Tayson interns flooded the whole town, and of course it felt like a losing battle. Even Minwoo over there fighting with the old law school people, just trying to get one signature from somebody. Well, I'm a real lawyer too. Well, that's just an intern. Well, then the real lawyer came over and, well, he's a real lawyer. So Youngwoo, wait, hold on. Yeah, it felt like a losing battle. Oh, and Attorney Jung, he sings again. He had to sing it one more time for the elderly folks because they wanted to have a show.
Yes.
Anywho.
Yes. They did that so that the elderly would sign their consent forms.
I guess it's some people signing. But Youngwoo goes over to the hackberry tree, the wonderful large hackberry tree.
She goes there because she left her purse there. Yeah.
She gets her purse. Yes, and it just so happened that Taesumi found it.
Walked up to her with it on her arm while she was on the phone.
She, and of course, Taesumi had to make sure to say hello. And she said, she read her opinion letter for the last people. Basically,
from
when Hambada,
episode 2.
Yeah, when Hambada stole pretty much a client from Taesan and pretty much got the man what he wanted. And they said it was impossible.
Right. Almost got him what he wanted because
almost because the
daughter said, "Oh,
the daughter ain't stopping."
Okay, he would have gotten paid, honey.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Okay.
But Taesumi, she was really impressed by what Youngwoo did, and she said, "Come see us at Taesan." I think she even passed her a card, right?
She did.
And of course, Minwoo sees all of this.
As soon as I saw Minwoo, I screamed the word snitch. So loud. So loud. But there was also a beautiful moment between Woo Young-woo and her mother. Before the end of the scene, there was a breeze, and Woo Young-woo was just, slightly touching her face, and then the camera pans over to her mother, and she was doing the exact same thing. It was really nice to see.
Amazing. So, of course, Youngwoo, she walks down the hill on her way to try to, try to get somebody to sign these consent forms. And Minwoo pops out from out of nowhere, almost got hit.
Okay.
So he said, "What were you discussing with Attorney Tay?" And she says, "If I share with you, will you post it on the bulletin board?"
Okay. Snitch, rap. Okay.
And he was like, "What?" Still acting like he didn't do anything.
I don't know why.
Who's this Minwoo?
It's so dumb. Especially like a real man would own up to what they do. Okay.
Exactly.
Even if you post it as anonymous, a real man's gonna say, "Yeah, it was me," and
okay, you need to go. Was I lying though? Like,
okay.
But see, that's another thing. A lot of people over there don't stand up in
their truth.
I didn't see a whole lot of that
Mm-hmm.
these days on the ones that I've seen. Anywho, so right after that, our good old girl gives him just swats at him. She didn't connect, but she starts swatting at him. You know what I'm saying? Then she, like I could.
Taking no girl's advice, yes.
Okay, you can catch some of these fists, honey.
Okay.
And she says, "Don't ever do anything like that again." Okay, do you feel? And then he, oh gosh, after she said don't do that again, he's like, "Do you feel shame? You are so shameless." Why should I be ashamed for being good?
Okay, for being me.
For being the amazing attorney, excuse me, extraordinary attorney Woo. Why should I be ashamed of that?
Never.
I cannot with Min Woo. So I'm gonna keep on pushing forward before I raise my blood pressure. So, so young Woo, she came home to get some clothes, trying to get back out there with Rami because it's like, you know what I'm saying, Daddy, you just gotta let me be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm an
Yeah.
adult now and I need to find my own place, but for the moment I'm gonna be with Rami, okay? So when she did come back home, Dad was very happy to see her again and stuff, and was under the impression that she was coming back. But he's like, "No, I'm just coming to get some clothes and go back to Rami." And then she told Dad about the offer from Taesun. So I met with Tae-Soo-min, and I'm going to work with her. That basically what that means for her is it's a job that she was able to get without her father,
Exactly.
leaning
Assisting.
in and helping.
Hmm.
And that means like another level of adulting. I'm doing this by myself. I got
Right.
offered a job and I'm going to take it. What you thought about that?
I thought it was great. I think we're seeing growth with Woo Young Woo.
Yes.
As smart and intelligent um, as much as she is who she is, she still has room to grow, and I love to see that, and I love to see her independence as well,
As it
because
grows.
it's not often that you hear somebody want to have independence, but she
Yeah.
wants to have that independence, and I thought that was great. And what's interesting is everything. Nothing is. I don't see anything coming with this show. There's a lot of suspense with this show. You
You're
really
right.
don't.
You don't see nothing coming. You're
You know,
right.
especially with this episode. If you go back to my voice
Yes.
messages, I was thinking we were going to have to wait for some things to be revealed, and it turns out they were all revealed on this particular episode. So yes, I think it's a great thing that she's standing up to her father, and she's showing him that
And
she
it's
can do
still
this.
respectful.
Always respectful, always
It's like,
respectful.
just let me do it.
Except for when it comes to Minwoo, because he don't deserve no respect.
None. She should have connected.
Okay.
She said, but it will. Shoot, she said it will next time. Anyway, and
I just heard mommy in the back of my head. Cow, cow, cow. Okay. That's what we need,
that's how you
honey.
get it done. So then the next thing that happens. Do you remember the face of Young Woo's father when she said, I've been offered a job by Taesumi and we talked?
A face of terror, a
Yeah.
face of fright,
Ciao.
a face of pure worry
Yeah. And
and disdain.
okay. But I am happy that the next moment happened. He did say you can't accept it. Taesumi is your mother. He had to say it eventually.
He
But things
did.
were I wish he would have said it earlier, but things were getting a little bit too close for comfort.
Earlier, as in
And
when? You mean like on the previous episode when she was looking
when
at
she
her
was looking
mother?
her up, yes. I think that
Gotcha.
would have been a solid time.
Hmm.
But of course it wouldn't be a drama if that happened that way.
That's
Things would have
true.
been a lot easier. We don't do things easy. We like it nice and rough and drama filled.
Yes.
So he said like that is your mother, and she was like,
What?
"Okay, where?" I think that's what in Korean. Where?
It is. Okay.
No, I said where in
Oh.
Korean.
Oh, okay.
Ke in
Learning a
Spanish.
couple things.
Okay, child, I think I'm gonna try to learn. I think I'm gonna do that. But yes, and then after that, she fell downstairs.
Passed out, honey.
I didn't
Passed.
see any of that come. I'm like, hold on, what you falling down the stairs for? What you do?
It did not surprise me at all. It really didn't, because someone who's like Woo Young Woo, news like that is going to be devastating to you. And so
and that's what
I
it was.
completely understand. And I was so girl, I was so into it. Like I was so into it. And she fell hard too. Like hard.
But so next we do see her in the hospital. Thank the Lord she didn't break anything. She just got some
Got a
minor
little
scrapes
scar
and
on the
bruises.
forehead. Yeah.
And she said, "My whole body is hurting me a lot." Yeah, you fell down some stairs.
Yeah.
That's how that would happen.
Comes with it.
It comes with the terror.
With the territory of of a fall down the stairs.
And of course, all of this prompts a good conversation with her father.
Mm-hmm.
And we all find out that Young Woo knew that her mother wasn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
And this came from a drunken confession from her grandmommy
Yep.
that she's still alive. And basically, she's pissed off at her mother because she left. She left Young Woo with her father and did not come back, did not say hey, did not, no cat, dog, nothing. So
Not a care in
she
the
was,
world.
as any mother would be, she was pissed off. And in a drunken upsetness, she accidentally said that around her granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she says mom is not dead. She ruined my son's life and ran away. Is Sumi all right? She is no longer your concern, which is what happened when Did you see the whole story how that happened?
I did. I did. So old girl got pregnant. She comes from a wealthy family. Woo Young Woo's father is not the most wealthiest. And so he was not of upper echelon. So she was not going to go through with the pregnancy. She didn't want to have the baby at all. And
Because of
Woo Young
him.
Woo's father, yes, because of him, because he was not on the same level as she was
And
financially.
also she wasn't ready to have a baby. They were still both
They
in
were still in
law
school.
school. And
Right.
he said, I will drop out of school and take care of the baby. You don't and I don't have to we don't have to see each other again. That's basically the
Exactly.
deal.
And so that's what they agreed to. She agreed to have the child, which is amazing. This is a really tricky situation because when
It
someone
is.
doesn't want to be a mother, but someone wants to be a father, and someone makes the sacrifice to still have the child for that other person, although they don't want anything to do with that child. That
Mm-hmm.
is such a tricky situation because that child is going to want to know where they came from, and when they
Yeah.
come back into your life, that is going to be a conversation that you've been avoiding your entire life
Your
or
life.
their entire life. So it's so I'm so glad that she had the baby for him because he clearly wanted that baby, but at the same time she made that sacrifice because she
She
knew
did.
this day was coming. She knew that this day was coming.
And you know what? I don't think she ever wanted that day to happen. Korea's not
No,
huge.
no,
And she was going to see that child eventually. But I did see some people saying that we can respect her for what she did, and she didn't have
absolutely.
to come see the child.
She did not.
But I do believe she didn't have to take care of the child either.
Hmm.
But I think it still would have been. I think it would have been good to at least see her. It's another human being. It's not, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's not something not a blanket that I made. I don't have to see that inanimate object again, but it's a human being and it came from your loins. And you could have come into her life as just auntie somebody or just a
Right.
friend of daddy to come by and say, hey. And then eventually, as things get older, I'm actually your mother. But I don't know. I'm not really mad at her. You know what I'm
I'm not.
saying?
I'm
Because
not at
that was the
all.
deal.
Yeah.
Um, but all I believe is like once you do come into the contact with your child, at least just do right as much as possible.
I have
Um,
complete and utter empathy for William Wu's
for both
mother.
sides.
Complete and
Oh
utter
yeah.
empathy for her. I don't think she was wrong in any way, shape, or form in the decision that she made because that was her
Hmm.
choice. If she decided not to have that child, William Wu would not be here.
Now I
So,
do have some issues for her choices in the after this.
okay.
We'll hit on that in the future, but yeah, they said it was political purpose forces or whatever.
Hmm.
When she had the baby, like somebody like a house servant, passed the baby over to took a taxi, passed the baby over to him with the bag and everything,
Right.
and he's like, "How is Sumi?" And she was like, "She's none of your concern," and kept it pushing, honey, and they kind of like cite political forces, I guess, but God bless them. And of course, right after the whole story was told, we have an epiphany.
Yes.
Dolphins. So in 2016, when they started the plans for the road, uh, it was turned down for the tree. Oh, at the same time they started plans for the road. The the national monument, that
Hmm.
tree, the hackberry tree, that's what it's called. The
Right.
hackberry tree was turned down for being a national monument.
Right.
So she realized that, and they started to. She called Attorney Joan at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Immediately. Daddy, leave the room. You gotta go. Client attorney privileges. Okay. Gotta go. Please leave. She said it nicely. Please leave. Okay. Please step out.
As we were having this tender moment, it was like,
Right.
uh,
Okay.
okay, all right,
But
um,
that's how she do. That's how she
yeah.
do. She
And
gotta
then
get
he
to
was
work.
like, maybe we should talk about this during times that people are up. She was like, oh, like she had to think about that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but
well,
I mean,
maybe
work is work.
maybe it might be best that I do that in the future.
Right.
So, what's the boy name? Um,
Which one?
Junho, that's his name. So,
Okay. Yeah, because you know I don't know no names,
okay.
child.
Young Woo and attorney, no, excuse me, Young Woo and Junho go to the Cultural Heritage Committee. Okay, Young Jin, Eugene, that's the one that was playing the
The
violin
violin. Mm-hmm.
at the hackberry tree. He works there, and he was the one that actually took the forms over to that committee so that they can become approved, so they can make the hackberry tree a national
National
monument.
Monument. Yes.
So they requested the port. So basically, what Attorney Young and Junho did, they requested the reports for the meeting to declare that the tree will be a national monument. Basically, like, we need to see why they turned this down.
Why they turn it down? Yes, they need to see the notes from the discussion. They need to see all the evidence from that particular meeting to understand why it is not a national monument.
Hmm. And so Eugene went to go get it. We'll meet
The
back up with
the
him again.
the female reactor that I saw, she said, "Oh, he's about to dip. He's going to say, oh, look a word. He's about to be going, isn't he? Isn't he? Yes, I do it too. I do that too. He was about to dip.
Yeah, and thank God they noticed it. But so Youngwoo and Junho, as they're waiting for their documents to be returned to them,
Hmm.
we see the rest of what happened between them when it was dark, and we're trying to figure out whether or not we like each other.
Right, because they cut off the power before it got good.
Okay, and they might as well, because she ran.
And I've never seen a TV show do that. I have never seen a TV show
They do
cut
that a lot here.
in
Yeah.
the middle of a scene that's about to get racy. Never seen
Hmm.
it before.
And she said that night the beating inside my heart was uh extremely fast. I figure the reason why is because I like you a lot. And that's what Wu said. And then Junho says, "You should know that." And as he's about to say something, she says, "Do you think Park Young Jin is getting away?" As he was looking at her, he looked down the hall.
Okay, he's halfway down there,
I
halfway to the
think
go.
I think he is. So they started running, and
Running.
yeah.
And
So
wasn't it raining again too?
it was raining, of course,
Good lord.
and Yunjin got tripped up, fell in the mud and everything. So they ended up in what's that called? A gazebo like
Mm-hmm.
situation. So they were shielded by the shielded from the rain. And he finally explained the truth. They did a fake visit to the basically paid randoms, not the committee, but randoms to go look at the tree. And they basically everything was faked and made it, and they did that on purpose. And so while they were talking, of course, it's still raining, and they see the umbrella that Eugene had, Park Eugene. It also had an Indo Pacific dolphin on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we come to find out it is actually a construction company logo.
Mm-hmm.
So, we leave that there. Just another epiphany. So, we're in court. All right. So the population of the city is 4,200, which with 206, excuse me, 2,600 households. Okay, and they got 100, excuse me, 1,550 approved, and this is from Tayson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the judgment to submit the motion to, like, basically the judge was really about to rule in Tayson's
Favor.
favor, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But right before he did like this, Attorney Jung stands up to submit the motion to recuse the judge.
Mm-hmm.
They get the information. Apparently, it was good that they did have that journalist out there because he was taking pictures, and one of those pictures was picturing the main judge with that umbrella with that bottlenose dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
So they said that they need to recuse
Head
the
judge.
judge, yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
he's mixed up in that. Um, let's see here.
Conflict of interest here.
Yeah,
That's what they're getting
because
to.
that construction company, they gave that umbrella to those who took the tour of their
Mm-hmm.
homes that were
Right.
about to be built on the other side of Happiness Road.
Exactly.
So it's like basically they're, you can't say that it's true that they were going to be using them to sway everything, but
It's the
still
possibility.
it's still a conflict of interest
Right.
in there. So Tayson lowered their heads, and they felt it was an unfair try and things of that nature. But of course, mommy is impressed, looking
Okay.
over
Looking
there
over
at
at her daughter. Look at my baby girl. Okay. But I don't know my baby girl.
child that I don't know about. Yeah, ain't that something? Did you believe that she didn't know?
That's what I was struggling with for so long until
Yeah,
I actually heard the story that Woo Young Woo's father told her. Because I kept on thinking she had the baby. How could she not know that she got a baby? And but I didn't pick up on the fact that she might have given up the baby at birth, not knowing anything about the baby from the time that the baby was
yeah.
born. So because I didn't consider that, that's why I was so
Not even
confused
her
about it.
name.
But right, not even her name exactly. Because when she met her in the bathroom on the previous episode, and she said that she recognized her name. I thought that she recognized her name because she knew her
To
name,
her.
because
Mm-hmm.
she knew that that was her child, but it was because that she was referring to the her opinion on the case that they almost won in episode 2. So
Exactly.
I'm glad that they explained it the way that they did, because now it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, the trial is done. We're not in the courthouse anymore, and Young Woo actually goes to meet with Taesumi.
Hmm.
Taesumi has HR with her, just so we can make sure that HR is uh in on the conversation.
Right.
And when Young Woo walks up there, and I remember, whoo, let me stop. Young Woo says, I would like to meet with you privately. But it's like Tasty was like, we have HR, so you were just joining on the conversation so we could get to know each other. Like, no, I'd like to talk to you privately.
Okay. You
And
might want to tell old girl to step. Okay.
the little sound bite that you sent me, Jonathan, with that one, it's like, is he gonna talk to her with that lady there? It's like, oh no,
Right.
no, oh, okay.
Yeah. We can't
So
do that. No. This is
so
family business.
whether the family knows, it's family business.
Hmm.
So the first things that, or the gist of what Young Woo says, like, do you recognize the person that you're looking at?
Mm.
She says, I am Wu Guangho's only daughter. And when she said that name, her mouth,
But her reaction was so slow. It was
because
so
it didn't
slow.
it
And
didn't
I
come.
love the fact that her reaction was not immediate because that's what we all typically expect, especially here in America. We
Yeah,
react quick, fast, and in a hurry, but
yeah.
her reaction was so
Guangho,
slow and methodical and stretched out. It was amazing.
slow mo.
That actress did that. Slow
To
mo in
you
real
could
time.
actually
That's what it was.
see, you could see the realization
The
wash over her face as she
realization.
was,
Yes.
as that moment happened, and yeah. She kind of asked, questions that I think you would ask a long lost daughters, like, "Are you mad at me?" You know,
Hmm.
um, and she gave her a really nice answer,
She
basically
did.
saying, like, I wanted to know what it felt like to have you, while you were gone and all that good stuff. But she mentioned that moment that they had at the hackberry tree,
Yes.
and that was a really a great moment. Um,
And her explanation for not wanting to work with her law firm was, I can't see myself working for someone who abandons their daughter and can't even recognize them when she
and
looks in their
still,
face. That was some like a truth bomb if I've ever heard one.
okay,
But she needed to hear it.
and she
She
needed to say
needed to
it.
hear it. And she needed to say it. Yes, she has that right as an abandoned daughter to
Yeah,
say that.
to
Although
speak
I
the
don't
truth.
find much fault with the mother in this situation, although yes, she did technically she did abandon her daughter, but although I don't find any fault, she still needed to hear that. Those words still needed to be spoken. Like you
Yeah.
can't get away scotch free with this. Like there's no way you can get away scot
No
free.
matter how the deal was,
Exactly. No matter if both
there was
parties are okay with what's going on, there's still a third party that is
their
being,
thought process, their
yes.
feelings,
Hmm.
especially with a mother. You want a mother.
Hmm.
And she was, as a kid, she would see everybody else with their mamas. Where's mine?
Hmm.
So there's, yeah, it's easy to make that kind of a decision knowing that you won't be around, but that's a wrecking ball worth of
Absolutely.
consequence.
Very much so.
That's what that is. So the conversation ended with Wu getting up and walking away, and
She
her
got a
mama,
call and she told her mother that they
yeah,
lost
thank
the case.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, that the tree is now protected. Um, yeah, yeah, that's what I have written here. I actually wrote it down.
Okay,
Hmm,
okay.
maybe I should have read it.
It always helps.
Yeah, but yes, that's the call. The tree is now protected, so basically, you guys
Hmm.
won't be able to. You're gonna have to find another way for that happiness road. And yeah, they did talk. I did write down, "Have you hated me?" And she says, "I got to meet you, and I'm glad."
Yes.
She been brought up right.
She has, absolutely.
She been brought up good. But yeah, that's my only little qualm about the deal that was made. And I understand she didn't want to take care of the child and all that stuff, but it's a person and it's your person. That's
Yeah.
what messes me up. Though yeah, it was her decision not to move forward with her being in Young Woo's life.
And this might sound a little extreme, but I compare it to a woman who's impregnated by someone who R's her and
uh
the decision that they have to make as to whether they want to have that child and have that constant reminder of the trauma that they went to. The same as someone who just simply does not want to have a child, but their
yeah,
partner who they're having the child with desires to have the child. And so it's really the same decision, although it's two different circumstances. But I have to
yeah.
look at it that way to kind of reason with why someone would not want to make that decision. So,
And also she's in the higher class. So
hmm,
first of all, her being pregnant, period, is just not the look.
right,
Her being pregnant with somebody that's not of stature is not the look.
definitely ain't the look.
Doubly. So, and then I have not completed law school or
Out of
anything. Having
wedlock.
this child, taking care of this child, having a child out of wedlock, not only is it going to mess me up? But it's not. It's going to mess me up for the future because I want to be in government. I want to be
Right.
in politics. It and they are very
And I almost forgot
value.
about that. I almost
Yeah,
forgot about that because I know that's going to play into the storyline.
absolutely.
Oh wow.
And
We got
then
8 more episodes to go.
it's a lot of people that are kind of stuck on, not stuck, but even here in America, we're kind of stuck on the things that you're supposed to do. And
Right.
if we see that you have gone through this and that, you might have a little bit more leniency out here in America. But in Korea, they're gonna look at you like you crazy, especially not
Mm,
nobody in government. Are you kidding me?
right. We ain't having that.
You had a baby out of wedlock
They're so
over
much
there.
more conservative. They're a lot more
That's the
conservative.
word.
Yeah.
Conservative. They're a
Hmm.
lot more conservative out there, and also their population is mostly of the grown folk.
America's
So,
probably the least conservative country, one of the least conservative countries in America, in the world,
yeah,
probably.
I believe that. Though we may not be as good with women and LGBTQIA stuff,
Hmm.
but you can live your life out
But
here.
compared to other countries, we are so far along,
Agreed. Because some countries are farther, but
farther
there are
behind. Yes.
no, not even just behind.
Oh, farther
Beyond
ahead. Yes.
us, yeah,
Yes. I
like
agree
es-
with that.
like especially with healthcare and all that stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and recognizing people. So yeah, I really thank you guys for joining us on this one. This was low key kind of a short one. We had a little bit of time to talk about this one
Yeah, I was
afterwards.
expecting it to take a long one, but it was a good one.
It
Yeah.
was a good one. So we're getting back on the horse. Is that what you call it? The horse, the wagon,
Sure.
with with our reviews. Thank you guys so much for joining us for it, and you'll be seeing more from us soon. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Love y'all.